This for my north side, south side, east end, west end, for my H-town, C-Field, 804, we them bitches, yeah, 2 up, 2 down, rich town, 2 up, 2 down, rich town, 2 up, 2 down, rich town.
It's the Kiara Lee Show.
Rich town.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Kiara Lee Show, the first episode of the Kiara Lee Show to be exact. My name is Kiara and I'm an author, I'm an activist, I'm a writer, and I run a blog called theblackerdtheberry.org. And today we're going to be talking about the media. Not just the media in general, but black women in the media. How does the media make us look? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it something that we even need to be talking about? Well, today we're going to talk about it. We're going to see. And today I have 2 special guests with me. I have Aisha Gaptooth Diva. She's an online media personality and a blogger. She models. She's on the radio. She's on TV. She runs her own store. She's always promoting positivity and everything else. She's everywhere. And we also have Zenobia Bey. She's a spoken word artist, and she's the founder of a nonprofit called Community 50/50. She's out helping the homeless. She's out promoting her CD called Crab Out the Barrel, performing around the city, helping kids. She's everywhere as well. So I got 2 really cool people with me today, and we're going to talk about black women in the media.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
And I'm just thankful y'all are here. I'm so excited.
Yes.
And congratulations on
congratulations.
everything you're doing.
Oh,
have
thank
3.
you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to start talking about this show called Married to Medicine. Have y'all ever seen this show?
I
Married to
just
Medicine?
recently caught up on a couple of episodes, a whole season as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I pretty much seen 1 or 2 episodes at the beginning, but I think I can chime in on the conversation. And with all reality shows, you know, everybody has their opinion, but I think it's a good thing, but a bad thing. You know, for the doctors to show the side of their wives and how they respond, how they act. There's like 2 doctors that's on the show, right? And I think, too, a lot of people think that people in a certain class or higher class don't have problems, don't have issues, or don't have drama. But this shows that it's real. People are real in whatever facet of life or whatever class you're in. So
Basically, it doesn't matter what your tax bracket is. It's ratchet all over the place.
Yep.
Right.
It's sad but true. And Married to Medicine, it was supposed to be a show that, you know, was promoting sisterhood, black women associated with the medical field. And even some of them, I think, like you said, 2 of them are actually doctors themselves. And it's supposed to promote, you know, unity and sisterhood and positive things. That's what I thought when I first heard about it. I was like, oh, cool.
Right.
It's going to be about sisters and medicine
Yeah.
and, you know, making us look good. Well, like y'all said, quite the contrary. Like, it's been cat fights and
been
jealousy.
brawls.
Yeah, brawls, pulling hair out, pulling weaves out, jealousy, envy.
Yes.
Just craziness. And it's sad because it's all this ratchetness, but it had 1.9 million viewers, and it was Bravo's most highest rated show.
Yeah, yeah.
So people are tuning into this in droves, but like, my question is, like, what happened to the sisterhood on TV?
The problem with a lack of sisterhood on television is because everybody wants to be the HBIC. You know, everybody wants to run, everybody wants to control everybody. And instead of it being a sisterhood, it's just a bunch of catty women saying, I'm the boss, they follow me, I'm the leader. And it's enough limelight for everybody.
Right,
and I
that's
think with that particular show, and a lot of other ones like Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop and all that, everybody wants to be the baddest female on the show, and they want everybody to know it. So instead of sharing that and being, you know, sisters and acting appropriate to each other, they be catty, they gossip, and they want to call each other out to the point that, yes, sometimes it does come out to be a full-on brawl. It's not a cat fight. Those ladies was going at it. You know what I mean? And it's despicable because these young ladies watch it and they think, well, I'm going to have to be more aggressive.
Right.
I'm going to have to be harder because the people that I look up to are acting like this.
Right.
And that's how I have to behave. And we lack that sisterhood because of that mentality that I have to be the HBIC everywhere I am. And it's a problem.
yeah, I think that sometimes people have lost the meaning of sisterhood and what sisterhood means and what it entails and what comes with it. You know, like us 3, you know, we all have different things that we're doing, and I'm sure behind the scenes we may have different opinions about what we're doing. but it's the way you do it. It's the way you talk to people. It's the way you communicate. You know, I feel like I have a close enough relationship, a sisterhood with you all. I can call you on the phone and say, hey, you know, Kiara, what you think about this? Or, you know, Aisha, what do you think about this? And versus calling somebody else or putting it on Twitter or Facebook or anything, well, Kiara Lee put this, or, you know, it's just a way that I think we have lost, our society has lost the meaning of sisterhood, you know, and just camaraderie of, like you were saying, about unity and uplifting. And it's, like I said, it just shows that it's in all areas. You know, you don't have to go to the hood to see drama, you know. And unfortunately, like you were saying about the 1.9 million views, that shows what society wants to see, unfortunately. And it's going to take us, you know, people like us, and I'm sure it's other people in other cities and states that's doing what we're doing, positive and uplifting each other, to bring that to the forefront, to kind of count that out, to change people's minds, to say, okay, this is not good to see. This is not good for, like you say, young girls to see as a role model. So it's going to take us to change that image. You know?
I think it's just such a shame that, like, this show, like I was just saying, like, I was so excited to see this show because I'm thinking, like, okay, black women in medicine, okay, cool, you know, this is going to be on TV, like, this is us, this, you know, this could be me, like, you know, on TV, and doctors, you know, doing the thing, you know, doing it, and then it turns into, like, what we talked about. It's just such a disgrace, and it's like, somewhere people have the idea of promoting positivity, because the people that wrote that show, the woman that wrote that show, she said herself, like, she had this idea because she wanted to promote the sisterhood. So people do have the idea and the thinking, but for some reason it never turned out to be like that. And my question is, like, are we capable of sisterhood? Are we capable of having sisterhood on television and the media? Is it just impossible, or, you know?
I think we are. Like I said before, I think we are. It's just going to take a certain group or like-minded individuals to keep pushing that and not
persevering.
Not turn into what everybody else is doing, because it's so easy. Like, even with the music, you know, it's so easy to write a song about cars, clothes, and all this different stuff. But what about everyday life? People are not writing about that because that's not what people want to see. So I think, or hear. So I think it is capable. It is possible for that to happen, but it's going to take the people, like you said, Aisha, to just persevere and just keep doing it. You know, not say, oh, well, I have communicate 50-50, or I have crab out the barrel, but people not really listening to that positivity, so let me throw a little curse words in it, and then they'll listen. No, I think that's selling out.
Yeah,
it is,
definitely.
You know?
I mean, in the media right now, if you want to have people go down the road less traveled. Like she said, it's so easy to go with the ratchet. It's so easy to talk about the gossip and to be all in people's business and talk reckless and act crazy, because that's what people want. And, you know, with my particular platforms, I choose not to go down that road. I could blog and write about celebrity gossip. I could write about all the negative stuff that I see, and I can go in on people that I know, but I choose to use my platform for positivity. Now, no, my views are not going to be as high as somebody talking about people that they don't even know, but I'm going down the road less traveled, because at the end, it's a overall goal that I'm trying to reach. It's to wipe that out, that negativity out. And a lot of people come to me and they say, well, why you don't do this? You know, talk about this and talk about that. Everybody's talking about that. You know, let's talk about what people are not bringing to the forefront. Let's talk about some more positive stuff. And we are tuning in to shows like this because it is drama, it is entertaining. But when we start saying, no, y'all not going to watch that. No, we're not going to watch this tonight. We're going to watch something else. When we start taking control of what the media is putting in front of our face by turning the channel, by turning the TV off, by picking up a book or going to different events that are not, you know, the norm, then we start letting the people know, y'all have to change. We're being spoon-fed stuff. I remember talking to you one time about music. The kids are spoon-fed this music. So, you know, we're allowing the radio and television to tell us what should be entertaining us instead of it being the other way. That show probably would have ended if everybody got together and said, okay, this is not exactly what we were looking for, and we don't want this on our television anymore. Just like how Basketball Wives had to change their whole format because people were petitioning against them. If we keep doing that to certain shows and programs and music and events and stuff like that, then we could possibly wipe it out. But it has to be enough people banded together because individually we're not as strong. But unified, we could definitely definitely make a difference if people are willing to try.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think it's interesting that you brought that up because apparently a group of medical students at Howard tried to protest this show. They were residents, and they were protesting the show. They didn't want Bravo to air the show because they said it's hard enough for black females to find residencies at hospitals, like on their own. And then with this show and the negativity that this show promoted, they felt like that this made it even worse for them, made it even harder for them to find residencies to further their education and to ultimately get to their career. So I think, like what you were saying, it has to be more than on an individual basis. We've got to stick together and protest these things and try to, you know, get action, you know, get change and things like that.
Definitely.
So I feel like with that, apparently wasn't enough power to stop the show completely because, you know, it still aired and it had the season finale, I think, a few weeks ago. But just that mentality, I think.
But then, you know, when the politics plays a part, it also prolongs things too, you know, because like you were saying, if the show has a goal, but then it starts off one way, then it ends up another way, now money's involved. So it's hard for, you know, most people to pull back, you know, and you already know most people, when money's involved, you know, they make different decisions. And that's one thing, you know, we all have to eat, we all have to provide for our families. But that's one thing I pray and ask for humbleness all the time, is that I'm never put in a position to where I will have to make a decision to sell out my soul or sell out my brand or sell out my integrity for money. And I think one of the ways that can not happen is surrounding myself around positive people, surrounding myself around like-minded people that will understand, well, look, I'm not even going to ask Z-Bay to do that because I already know, you know, what she's about. Or, you know, me having the mentality to say, look, I'm not going to do that because that's not what I'm about. And I'm not trying to sit up here and act like I don't have drama and don't have, you know, situations in life, because we all do. But like we always saying, it's how you promote it. I think on these shows, if they show the drama and the negativity, but then also show scenes where they had sit downs and talked about it and had some type of conflict resolution, then that would show, you know, to young ladies or to the world, hey, problems does arise, but how do I deal with it?
Exactly.
You know.
Now, I know for a fact that there are people who are willing to invest in more positive forms of entertainment. I know that there are people who are willing to put money into it, who actually go out and seek it. There are reality shows on television that, like Forever Jones and stuff like that, that are about positivity. You know, Mary had a reality show. There are stuff out there. They're not being promoted as much, and people are not talking about them as much because, like you were saying, they put a lot of money into the negativity. But you have to make a decision whether or not that's what you're looking for, because I feel like lately, you know, what I'm putting myself in front of as far as television and music is what I'm inviting into my life. So if I constantly keep watching this negativity, this catty behavior, it instills something inside of you. And then when you go out into the world, that's how you behave. That's how you act. Or you start looking for certain things that you're seeing in these shows. We have to proactively seek out the positive. And as women, we should be suggesting it to other women. You know, if somebody come to you and say, hey girl, did you see the Love and Hip Hop show? No girl, but did you watch Forever Jones? Can you get on that and holler at me? Or just don't have those kind of conversations. We'd be like, oh yes girl, I saw that. Then maybe people were like, okay, nobody's watching it, nobody's talking to me about it, maybe I need to go ahead and watch something different. So I have something to talk about at the office or whatever the case may be. Change your environment, like Z-Bay was saying.
And that brings me to my next question. Do you all feel that the stuff that's on TV, the reality TV shows, the sitcoms that are promoting this bad stuff and making us look bad, do you think that that is defining us? And do you think that that's changing the way we look at ourselves and the way we look at each other, possibly?
I'm gonna be honest, I was just having this conversation this morning. When they had an influx of women getting butt shots.
Oh, yeah.
Never before this happened, never did I think I didn't have a butt. And then I started to see all these women with these mutant butts. And I was just like, I don't have a butt, you know? So my husband was like, no, you are letting the media, music videos, and pictures make you think you don't have a butt. You have a normal person's butt. They have the mutant butt. So, of course, you're going to feel like your butt is small. And that goes with everything. When you think about clothes we wear, you know, the cars we drive, and where we live and everything, media and television music has us thinking that we need to step our game up. So we go poor, robbing Peter to pay Paul, so that we can live a lifestyle that is not within our wage bracket. And it does change people. It does. I see people now we first got on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that, no one was posting pictures of their materialistic values. Right. They were posting pictures of their family, posting pictures of their friends and experiences. Now all of a sudden you see people screenshotting sneakers and Instagramming cars and all this stuff. Yeah, so we allow the media to perpetuate the idea that we should seek out materialistic. That's how you become a person. That tells you your title in life is by your car you drive, where you work at, where you live in, and you know how you're dressing. And for us females, how our body looks. So we see all these little tiny girls with these huge big girl booties, and I'm like, maybe I need to get my life together. No, that's TV making me think that. So yes, I think it does change the way we look at each other and ourselves. I think that media today is giving girls low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, definitely. Piggybacking off that, I agree, you know, and it's just not enough positive images of us in the media, you know, athletics, music, intellect. You know, it's a lot of young girls out there that's doing things like math club and different things like that. But again, going down to that age group, because the media had the age group of like middle school and elementary school girls, they really don't want to see that too much because they're seeing, you know, other stuff on BET or, you know, MTV or whatever. So they're like, I don't want to see an episode about a math club or, you know, a girl going to a date with her dad, you know, different things that's going on in the community. And it's just like, when is it going to stop? But again, like, you know, Aisha was saying, it's going to stop when it's a collective group of people coming together to keep pushing on the positive things and, you know, weeding out the negative, you know, music that's constantly in our psyche. You know, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Like Aisha said, what you put into your brain and your cognition is what's going to eventually be your behavior. And next thing you know, you're looking like, what is this? You know, like, I'm a Lil Wayne fan, I'm a big hip hop fan, but you won't see me riding down the street with Lil Wayne blasting and I'm just, you know, acting a fool because that's what he's doing. I can still enjoy it in the comfort of what's going on and also be able to pick up on things and relate to the younger generation because it's like, how can I really relate to them if I don't know what they're listening to? You know, so that's one of the reasons why when I listen to it, I'm like, okay, if you listen to something, you like it, you like it, but you don't let it control you. And that's what's happening to a lot of our youth, a lot of the younger generation, is letting them define who they are.
It's your value is put into what you have or what you're capable of doing because of this music. If the music's saying, you know, only bad chicks do X, Y, Z, then you're like, well, I want to be a bad chick, so I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And it's like, I feel like sometimes they're feeding us this negativity and we're sitting here carrying it like it's gospel. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you go to church and they say, the book says this. Sometimes I feel like people are watching movies and listening to music, well, that said this, so this is how I have to live my life. It's like no new friends, getting money, you know, and it's crazy. I'm like, like she said, you can enjoy it without living your life like that. And I try to balance mine. Like with the ratchet music I listen to in the comfort of my own home, I try to, you know, listen to a little bit of gospel on top of that to kind of drown it out. Because we're all human, you know, we enjoy some of the stuff, but I want to balance it out. And I think it's not a lot of people doing that. They're just going straight off of what everybody else is doing. And it's, like I said, you got to go down the road less traveled.
Well, I think it's interesting. We've been talking about media in the black community for this episode, but I just want to touch on media with white people just real quick. I'm sure you all have heard of Honey Boo Boo.
Get your life.
Well, I think it's very interesting that most white people I know, even reading stuff online, they're pretty embarrassed of the whole Honey Boo Boo thing. They don't want to talk about it. They feel like it's making them look bad, you know, like they look at her like a disgrace, so to speak. But it's very interesting to me because we have a lot of that stigma in our community with stuff on TV. But it's like we accept it, and I feel like white people in general are just much less tolerant of that, and I just wonder why are they less tolerant of the ratchetness, so to speak. And in general, I feel like we are more accepting of it when it's making fun of us, but white people are, you know, they get angry when it's making fun of them. Why is that? Why do we tend to accept it more? Why do they tend to, you know, want to change it more?
Well, I know for a fact, I don't think it's any black mother in the world is going to have her daughter acting like Miss Honey Boo Boo. So we accept it to a degree. I think as long as it's not our children, we're good, because grown folks are going to be grown folks. But I do feel as though we are a little bit more lenient on each other because we find it more entertaining. If a bunch of white people got together and said we don't want this on TV at all, it would be gone. But we don't speak up enough because we find it to be entertaining. I think with all the negativity that we've gone through and with everything that's happening, especially with our president being in the White House and everything, we think, okay, we got a black president, we can get away with a little bit more. And we allow some of this craziness to go. I mean, there was no ratchet before Obama was in office. It's like we done went crazy. Like, we got a black president, so now we could just take our tops off and act crazy. And that's not the lifestyle we should be living. I think we should be exemplifying some of the more prestigious behavior that he is exemplifying. And we should be petitioning against shows like that. And white people, they do it all the time. They're not gonna make themselves look bad, but we're allowing it to happen. Why? Because it makes us look better. You know, we see other people struggle, especially people with money. Then we're more quick to be like, okay, well, it don't matter if you got money or not. You know, everybody's ratchet, and we're letting it happen instead of speaking up. I would never ever allow my child to go on TV and act like that. So, and I'm sure white people ain't happy with that either.
No, that's what I see. So in general, you think society has maybe made it okay, or maybe made the platform so that it's okay to exploit black people?
I think so.
What do y'all
I think society and us as a nation has made it okay. Again, like we've been saying in this whole, in this conversation, it's only what we allow. We have a lot of people, the masses come together and say, no, we're not doing that. No, we're not supporting that. No, we're not watching that. Whatever night, whatever show comes on, we're not going to turn it on so we don't get the ratings. Eventually, it will go down.
That's true.
And so I think it's both. I think it's society. Society puts traps and trickery in place for people to fall. And sometimes us as people, we're so low in our thinking and our mentality that we fall for it. Like I said, you take a situation where you have a mother with 3 children and the father has left, or the husband, whatever the situation is, and they are, not nice built and, very pretty, and somebody approached them with opportunity to make money as stripping. It's easy. What are you going to do? You have somebody, that's in a situation, they're going to do what is that's going to make that situation better at that time. So now it's okay, is society doing that, or is that person doing that? But now in that situation, it's that person doing that because that's doing what they need to do. But they're thinking they can say, no, I have a choice. I can do better, go down that road less traveled, and not do that. Take 6 months of struggling a little more, and then at the end, I can look back and say, look, I didn't have to do that. Not knocking anybody that did anything to provide for their family, but I'm just talking about the mentality of how society puts images on, nation of people, and then also we put on ourselves, or we think that's all that's accepted, that's all we can do.
To touch on what she's saying, I think, like she said, whether it's the society or the individual, I feel like if one individual makes a decision to strip, sell drugs, get into a cat fight, or whatever the case may be, that's that one individual. However, if you were granted an opportunity, for example, you have your show, you have a platform to speak to several different individuals. Use your platform to push positivity. If you're using your platform to push the negativity like an individual, then you can be blamed for it. Then society can be blamed for that.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely see what y'all are saying. I just want to touch on music real quick, the misogyny in music, and particularly hip-hop music. Are men doing it to us, or are we doing it to ourselves? Where is all this coming from?
Doing it to ourselves.
Doing it to ourselves. Why do y'all think that?
I feel like as a woman, we are powerful. Okay? We tell men how to approach us. We tell men what they can and cannot do with us and how to talk to us. If a guy comes to you and holler at you just reckless, you can say, sir, no, I don't tolerate that, don't talk to me. Yes, he might call you out your name, he might say a couple of choice words, but you made that choice. I do not tolerate that. Tell everybody around you, don't come to me with that nonsense. So for a man to say, girl, twerk something, take it off or whatever, and you just jump up and do it, you have relinquished your power and allowed him to control you. So we as women are allowing it to happen to us.
Especially without not any type of commitment. Now, you've been with somebody, your husband, you know, you've been with him for a while, he say, do this to whoever, that's your husband. You may do that in the comfort of your bedroom, but you just meeting somebody, you know, in the club, and they say, do this. And the mentality of the man is like, okay, well, you do that now, and I just met you 10 minutes ago. Yep. I got you. Like you said, the power. You pretty much. I can do what. You can do whatever I ask you to do. Yeah. Yeah. So I think, you know, like again, we have to set a standard. You know, if you're walking down the street and somebody say, "Yo, shorty," and you respond, and you're that yo, shorty. You know, if you keep walking and like, you
I don't answer to that. Then he won't call you that anymore.
That's exactly.
You know, I've had plenty of men approach me just straight reckless. And I mean, convenience stores in the hood, because that's where I live. And I'd be like, don't call me that. That's not my name. And the first thing I say, I'm a God-fearing woman, so you're going to approach me the correct way. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I apologize. Forgive me. And then they know from then on out, that's not the one. If all girls did that, you would watch a whole lot of men change. If all women said, I'm not twerking nothing for anything, you're not my husband, then you'll watch a whole lot of music change on the radio.
Well, what role do men play in this? Because men, as you all know, men dominate the hip-hop scene. Like, when you look at it, men, you know, do dominate the hip-hop industry, the genre in general. So what role do the men play? If it's up to us, if we're the ones that have the power that can control the misogyny and the mistreatment, what role do they play?
They're creating what we're willing to buy. So basically, if we're willing to buy music and stuff like that that disrespects us, they're just going to create it. Just like everybody was loving the South music after a while, so all the up north music started to kind of dwindle a little bit. If we stop buying it, they're going to have to change the game up, period.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And I just think that, you know, and just speaking to, like, I hang around, I do music with a lot of men that don't make that type of music. So, and I think a lot of their influence come from how they want somebody to treat their mother, their sister, or their daughter, you know. And I think a lot of the men that's in the hip-hop game, if they would understand what they're putting out there in their lyrics, in their music, in their videos, if they would think of their mothers, you know, what if I'm calling my mother that? Or what if somebody else was talking to my mom like that? Would they appreciate that?
My mother dancing
exactly. You know, and it's just like, you know, my daughter, you know, I know a lot of these men have daughters that's teenagers, young, you know, what if somebody's talking to their daughter like that? If they would think about that before they put it into the music, they would kind of change a lot of their lyrics. And, you know, and you can still have fun and promote what you like about a woman, but you can lyrically do it in a different way, you know.
Okay, well, we only got a few minutes left. I want to thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
On my show. This was a great conversation, but I just want to know, what are y'all doing in the community to, you know, stop this stigma and to promote the positivity in the black community? And do y'all have anything coming up, or just go ahead and just...
Oh, well, pretty much, well, every third Sunday of the month, I have a Feed the Homeless. You can check me out at www.community5050.org, and that's Community 5050. And I know you have a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm writing about positivity, pushing positivity, dressing people in positive, stylish clothes. Just check me out, Gaptoothdiva.com. That's it.
Well, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Congratulations to you and everything you're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And now I want to bring on the folks that are behind my theme song, the Kiara Lee Show theme song, Crazy Untouchable Records. They are here in the building right now. They're going to come and introduce themselves and talk about what they got going on.
What's happening, babe?
How you doing?
How you doing?
This C-Wall. Tone, take that over.
Yeah, C-Wall, man, Crazy Untouchable Records. Started out in New York, so now we down in Virginia, and now we got some of our artists. They got introduced themselves.
There you go.
So I'm Taz, man. Songwriter for CUR. Holding down.
Q, aka King Crown.
Yo, Allah, aka Numbers, baby. I'm here. Richmond veteran right now.
Yeah, there's some more people that's supposed to be here, but
Yo,
they
we got
ain't
Doug Shy. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Black.
This for my north side, south side, east end, west end, for my H-town, Seafield, 804, we them real, yeah, 2 up, 2 down, rich town, 2 up, 2 down, rich town, 2 up, 2 down, rich town, rich town.